Florida home sales plunge as Sunshine State becomes less desirable. Florida's housing market faces nightmare scenarios as deals collapse. Florida housing market gets worrying sign. These are some of the headlines that you will see if you read the news or watch anything in news related to Florida real estate. Now, are these true? We're going to be going over that in this video. We're going to talk about the current state of the market, where things are going, and the truth about the home prices falling in the state of Florida. Now, I have been in Florida since 2006, and there was quite a boom in 2006. That is when I got my real estate license, and so I have seen several different real estate cycles, even through 2009 and 2010, when I did at that point indeed sell a single family home, which was only 3 years old. I guess that's the way we're going to talk about it. It was constructed 3 years earlier for $44,100. Concrete block home, beautiful 1,800 square feet. Crazy times that we have experienced over the course of my real estate career here in Florida. Now, what we are seeing here is really interesting, and you're going to want to understand this so that you can be empowered to make the best decision for yourself. So at the end of the day, do we have in front of us what was happening in 2009 and 2010? There is nothing that looks like that, what was going on at that point. Defaults were at an all-time high. People were getting loans that they shouldn't qualify for. None of those things are generally happening right now. There are a lot of economic pressures, and there are some new factors that we will talk about that are affecting some of the sales prices, so the overall home sales in Florida. And so let's jump right into that. So as of right now, my market here is in Southwest Florida, which is primarily Fort Myers and Naples. And in our locations, we saw a high in Collier County, which is Naples, of a median price of a single family home to be $950,000, which was actually earlier this year. We also saw in Lee County a high of $475,000 as the median price all time, and we saw that last year. And we actually saw a high of a median price in Lee County, which is Fort Myers, of $470,000, which was in 2022, which for all purposes was really the height of the real estate market. But we know COVID came in 2020, and then post-COVID we had just the biggest boom of people looking to flock to the state of Florida, buy up a lot of real estate, get on some land, and that just made the inventory decrease significantly, made the prices go up significantly. And at one point in the market, we actually only had 2,000 homes on the market in all of Southwest Florida, which is absolutely crazy compared to where we came from and compared to where we are today. So if we do fast forward to today, those median prices have come down quite a bit. So in Naples, that median price is $755,000 compared to where it was at $950,000. That's almost a $200,000 decrease, but that was sort of a one-off month where it got that high. Most of the times it was in the 700s to 800s over the past few years. Today in Lee County, it's right at $400,000 as the median price. So that's off almost 20% compared to where it was in the high. Now, that being said, if we look at both of those counties, this is our local market here, that's flat year over year. So prices are not decreasing right now in a significant way like a lot of the media would lead you to believe. Yes, they've come down since 2022, but year over year, it's actually quite flat. It's a 0%, and we are exactly $400,000 in Lee County, and it's up 1% compared to what it was this time last year in Collier County, again, which is Naples. So prices may not be decreasing, not as much as the media is making everybody believe. Now, there are some bigger factors that are at play here, and these are things that we really need to talk to because I feel like there's an incredible amount of misinformation out there. I was speaking to a very prominent real estate broker from Wisconsin the other day, and we were talking about the situation in Florida, and he said, "What is going on in Florida? Is it really that bad?" And I was like, "Tell me what you think." And so he talked about insurance, and he said, "Everything that I'm reading is that the insurance cost is so high that people are not wanting to move to Florida." And I thought that was very interesting because, he's a very well-educated, I'll call him consumer, but very well educated in the real estate space, and that's the information that he has. Now, insurance has been a problem. There is no doubt about that. But what he didn't realize is that there are actually tremendous opportunities when it comes to insurance. Insurance is not the same throughout the entire state of Florida. If you are looking for a home and you want it to be right on the beach or right on the coast, that's going to have a significantly higher insurance premium than if you are inland a bit and out of a flood zone. So you could pay the same price point for the real estate, and if you were coastal, you could have an insurance policy that is upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 for the year. But if you're inland, that insurance policy for a similarly priced home could be around $2,000 for the entire year. So to put that blanket statement out that insurance is a huge issue isn't necessarily true in all circumstances. So yes, we pay significantly more than other people do in other parts of the country because of hurricanes, etc. But there are some really great options, especially with new construction that's built to the latest building codes, where insurance really isn't that big of an issue. And then the other part of what he had mentioned is that not as many people are moving to Florida because of these issues, and that's also not true. Florida is actually still the #1 state for migration in. People are still moving to Florida. People love a lot of the aspects of Florida in terms of the overall weather, minus the hurricanes, but that, we can talk a little bit about that. The tax benefits of moving to Florida, since there is no state income tax and our overall sales taxes are quite low. There is no personal property taxes on your vehicle every single year. There's just a lot of benefits that come there, and the state is operating at a surplus. So these are all really big deals of why people are moving. And in fact, there's actually statistics that support this that say Florida, again, is the #1 migration in, but it's also #1 of high income earners. So of families who make more than $200,000, those people are moving to the state of Florida. Now, when high income earners move to the state of Florida, they're willing to buy and able to buy property. And so that's something that we'll see that's been protecting prices from decreasing. Now, let's talk a little bit about the inventory. How much inventory do we have? Earlier, we had mentioned that we had a roughly 2,000 properties. I think the low that we had was 2,565 properties available on the overall market. That was in 2022 at the height of the overall market. And we have come back up into a more normalized market where we now have inventory of around 18,000 properties available in all of Southwest Florida. Now, that number seasonally adjusted, that's pretty normal with where we were before COVID times. So it sounds drastically different than the 2,000, but that puts us into a much more balanced market. Right now, we have approximately 7 months worth of inventory. That does put us in a buyer's market territory. And what that means if you're considering purchasing is that you've not seen a market like this in over 4 years, really almost 5 years, to where you start to have an upper hand. If we were looking in 2021 and 2022, you really had limited options. You had to come in and you had to bid over asking price, sometimes in excess of $100,000 over asking price, to be able to purchase a property. And now you, as a buyer, while interest rates might not be as low as they were then, the savings that you have from the overall sales price is going to give you a lower monthly payment in most cases than what you would have paid back when the market was moving faster and much hotter. So you, as a buyer, have a lot more control over the entire situation than you did previously. Now, what this means if you're looking to sell is that you need to be aware of 7 months worth of inventory. This means that buyers have other options out there. And so the property needs to be more well kept than what it had to be in 2021. The property needs to be priced accordingly to the current market and not the high point of what it was in 2022. We need to talk through these things and make a very strategic decision. Days on market have grown, and so if you're looking to sell, you don't want the days on market to be significant because that just hurts your ability to negotiate when that offer does come through. So this is really really, you know, if we put things in full perspective, being a buyer is a heck of a lot better than it's been for a very long time. And there are certain types of products like newer construction, like Slightly East, that will make that be a lot more affordable for you when it comes to insurance. And again, if you are a seller, you just want to take into account all of these factors when the marketing strategy, when the listing strategy meeting takes place. Now, of course, me and my team would be happy to talk with you in more detail about your specific situation. So if you're looking to get a value on your property, reach out. We have some amazing tools to be able to help that with no obligation attached to them whatsoever. Or if you're looking anywhere in the state of Florida, we can help connect you with other professionals, or if you're in our area, we'd be happy to serve you as always. So thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have a blessed day.